So we look for, because we started off handling just the northwest section of Harris County, but as we started expanding beyond that, we started looking for people to partner with, because it gets to be beyond the scope of what our internal construction group can do, to go to San Jacinto or to go to Liberty or to go to Fort Bend or Brazoria. So we look for partners who are like-minded, and like-minded meaning you have a service heart, you believe in serving others, you believe in doing the most that you can do with the dollar that you're given. And often, unfortunately, that means we leave some of those homes unfinished, which is never the easiest thing for us to do. And it's never the easiest thing for us to say that we can't help somebody because of whatever circumstances. However, the funders who give us the money, they dictate how we can use it. And if the particular disaster and situation doesn't fit, we can't spend the money on it. So that's the hard part about what we do, is having to say we can't help somebody, or having to walk away and not finish things because we don't have enough funding. But what you guys get to experience, which is what I wish I could experience more, quite honestly, is the engagement with the homeowner themselves, because there's some beautiful, beautiful people who are very appreciative of the work that you do, that you see all the time out in the field. But what Mr. Clyde and I wanted to bring to you was a different perspective of the funders' appreciation, the people who are funding these projects. They very much know. I have two major funders for the things that y'all have been doing in your county, and that is St. Bernard Project is one of them, and Salvation Army. Both of them are really faith-based groups, and their target is the most vulnerable population. And they haven't restricted me by county, so I could spend the money in any county. And as you can tell from this accent, I grew up in a rural area, and so I love the rural area. And I know that the challenges a lot of times with the areas when you get beyond Harris County is that there's not enough funding, and there's not a lot of people who bring big money to the table in those outer counties. Harris County gets a lot. Montgomery County is beginning to get a lot, but those two counties, Galveston gets a lot just because of where they are. But sometimes when you go a little further north and you go east and west, they don't necessarily get so much. But the two funders, I routinely sing the praises of everything that y'all do. I show them pictures. I'll create a client bio based on the information that Ms. Tamika gives me, and Mr. Harden. But based on the files that they give me, I create a client bio to say, this is the client, this is their situation. We never disclose their names or their addresses, but we tell a little bit about their situation, because sometimes there are medical challenges that we put in there. So for confidentiality, we don't name them by name, but we do put their situation, and I'll send before and after photos. And you guys, whoever's been taking before and after photos, y'all been doing a great job of getting the same. And it's a challenge. I even have a challenge in my own internal group to do it, is to get the same exact image before and the same exact image after. Sometimes it's hard for funders to put together. If you send a before and you send an after, and it's just, maybe it's an after of the room, but it doesn't look like it's hard to tie it together and go, is this the same repair? But y'all do an excellent job with that. So I often use your before and afters in your client bios when I'm just giving that out to the funders. And I'll have to say, I don't even know if Mr. Harden knows this or not, but Salvation Army, the one that he met this past week, they were actually disappointed. This is the second meeting that I held with organizations in Beaumont, and Mr. Clyde wasn't able to make the first one, probably because he was working. But he wasn't able to make the first one, and Salvation Army was there, and they were disappointed that he wasn't there. They were looking forward to meeting him and learning more about how he does what he does, and just get a feel for his heart and his mission. So they were excited to meet him this past week, probably as much as excited as he was to meet them. But I did want to express to wrap it up, y'all's efforts are very much going noticed, and the efforts that you're putting in now on these clients, you're going to help Harden Enterprise, you're going to help Deep East Texas Congregational Disaster Readiness, San Jacinto Outreach. You're going to help all three of those get more recognition, and recognition for the right reasons, more recognition within the funder worlds, so that even if we're not recovering from a disaster, maybe there's some other funds that you can apply for to help out in your communities and your neighbors and your family members who are struggling to put things back together and just don't have the income to do it. So thank you for having me on. And hopefully, was there anything else you wanted me to cover?
That's the main thing, is that, I've neglected, to inform them on the magnitude of the work that they've done, but not just that, the work that needs to be done. Any future thoughts on other projects that you can kind of speak towards, things that y'all are working on to try to utilize us in the future?
Absolutely. I have